What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Criterion Corner. This is the segment on my channel where I pick films from the Criterion collection or that are streaming on the Criterion channel and talk about them in great detail. And today's movie is one that I've been very excited to talk about for a very long time on my channel, and I felt like because it was streaming on the Criterion services that it was totally worth taking the time to talk about it now. This is from the great writer-director Charlie Kaufman, who wrote the screenplay to this film. This movie I've watched more times than I can count, and I've always wanted to do a deep dive analysis and discuss it on my channel. And the movie I'm going to be discussing with you today is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is directed by Michel Gondry. Joel Barish, heartbroken that his girlfriend underwent a procedure to erase him from her memory, decides to do the same. However, as he watches his memories of her fade away, he realizes that he still loves her and may be too late to correct his mistake. So, as I said, I have wanted to talk about this on my channel for a very long time. I absolutely adore this movie. I think this is one of the greatest films ever made. I think it's more proof as to why Charlie Kaufman is a genius. The concepts that he comes up with for his movies are just bar none some of the most original and compelling ideas that a person has ever made. Michel Gondry, who directed this film, I'm not familiar with his whole catalog, but I think he works really well as the director of this movie. The two of them really pair together well to create a very unique experience that is really unlike anything else that you'll ever watch, and I'm excited to talk about it today. So the beginning of the film, we're introduced to Joel, played by Jim Carrey, and he's getting on a train, and he runs into Clementine, played by Kate Winslet. The two of them have a conversation on a train, and then we jump to a different period in time, and we find out the two of them are dating. We get glimpses into their relationship and see kind of moments in time with the both of them and how they are in a moment. There's good moments, there's bad moments, until finally we see Joel spending some time with his friends, and then he goes to the place where Clementine works. He approaches her at her desk, and she has absolutely no idea who he is. And he finds out through this paper that he finds at his friend's house that she has received a procedure to completely erase him from her memory. She wants nothing to do with him anymore. And so he decides to contact the same office and get the same procedure done. And so the movie is the office shows up at his house in the middle of the night while he's asleep. They put this helmet on him and start conducting the procedure to erase Clementine from his memory. Well, while the procedure is going on, he realizes he does not want to forget her for forever. And the entire film is him in his mind trying to avoid having the procedure completely done on him. So as I said, I absolutely adore this movie. I think it's one of the most unique and interesting concepts ever put to film. For starters, Jim Carrey's performance in this is exceptional. It's probably one of the best in his entire career. I love the monologues that he delivers in this movie. There's something so real and compelling about his character, and I think that's very relatable. I think there's elements that are relatable in his character and in Kate Winslet's performance as Clementine. I think they're both very relatable people, and what I love so much about their performances and what I love so much about this movie, neither one of them are perfect people. They're both incredibly broken, and it's very easy for us as an audience to watch the movie and kind of see that their relationship fell apart because neither one of them are very good communicators. They don't do the best job at talking to each other when they're going through something. They both shut off easily. And I think that's really one of the most interesting elements of this film, is that both of these characters are so inherently flawed. And I think that's so true with so many people. You know, so many people get into relationships and they just assume if they find someone that they click with that everything's going to be peachy keen, but the best relationships in the world work because people work at them. And I think that it's really interesting to see a film where both characters are so inherently flawed, and I love that about the movie. I think it makes it more immersive and more compelling. I love the cinematography and the shot structure in this movie. There's so many moments during the memory erasing procedures that stick out to me that still work so well now. I can't get over just how well the visuals translate. This movie came out, I believe, in like 2004, and it still looks fantastic, even in moments where it's like he sees a person and doesn't remember their face, and so their face is obstructed, or like flashbacks he has as a kid to being like bathed in the sink where they have this like giant sink prop that they built, and all these really unique visual sequences that stick out in my mind. And I think, to try to capture this procedure and feel what our lead character is feeling, it had to be a difficult task when they were sitting down and storyboarding this and structuring the shots, but they somehow managed to perfectly capture it in every scene. I love the visual presentation a lot. I also love the score to this movie. It's so strange. There's so many weird sound cues and so many weird musical moments that I think create this very uncomfortable atmosphere. I think the whole movie is just kind of leaving you scratching your head, saying what's going to happen next. And they do a really great job incorporating the characters from the Office into this movie, the people that come to do the procedure. You have Kirsten Dunst's character, Mark Ruffalo, Elijah Wood, Tom Wilkinson, who all add a lot to the movie. And it's interesting because there's examination of like Elijah Wood's relationship to Clementine, and then you have Tom Wilkinson's relationship and Kirsten Dunst and Mark Ruffalo's relationship, and they all play a really big part into the movie as well. And I love the large question that this film has of like, if you had the opportunity to do a procedure like this, if you had a bad ex or something, would you do it? Or would you end up being compelled to go back to that person if you found out something about them again, or if you learned maybe you made a mistake? And I feel like a lot of people in society, and especially in our society now, they live in absolutes. People make a lot of decisions and they're like finite in their decisions, and they don't want to change their mind about a lot of things. And what I like about this movie is it questions those absolutes, and should someone make a decision that could forever alter their life in a way that's drastically different and could completely erase someone from your existence. And I think that's a really fascinating concept, and I love thinking about it, and I love sitting with this movie. And it's so deeply emotional and beautiful, and it's truly just one of the best cinematic experiences you can ever have. And I'd highly recommend, if you've never seen this movie before, please take the time to watch it. It's incredible. Have you seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I think this movie is perfect. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever, and I think it gets better every time I watch it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.